Greetings to all and welcome back to The Rich is making another video on XRP today, as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in this lovely globe. Here is the one-day chart. Once more. Right now we are sitting at a 197, and we are continuing moving sideways at just less than $2. You can also see it on the 7-day. But what happened to all of those optimistic forecasts? We're back to normal. A significant price increase is anticipated in the coming day. For this reason, I always advise you to wait and see where we end up. Because the market is still responding to tariffs, it is currently extremely unstable. Until we have clarification on future tariffs, it is unsure of which way to proceed. Now, XRP might simply explode in response to a catalyst of some kind. Perhaps the SEC announces that the Ripple matter is finally resolved, institutional adoption begins, or the XRP ETFs launch, which would undoubtedly boost XRP as well. I won't declare we're back until we surpass $2.50 once more though, because there is still a lot of uncertainty at the moment, and the market is responding to that. A significant change is coming when XRP supply sinks on exchanges. We can see that these whales are consuming a lot of XRP, and the supply is undoubtedly running out on the exchanges. Many individuals claim that as XRP enters price discovery, scarcity will occur. But again, what do they know that we don't? They're presumably basing their decisions on the market as well. They buy up a lot of XRP if the market declines. Then, they sell some of it off to recoup their initial investment if the market rises. In this manner, they are already invested if the market keeps rising, but they are also ready to buy the drop again if it swings lower. To be honest, though, I don't think the whales know much more than we do, and I don't think anyone could call this market at this time. It's simply too shaky, and we have yet to witness any stability. XRP sees an 8.36% increase to $198. By 2025, will $20 or more be within reach? Now that we are aware that restrictions will be implemented this year, everyone is looking to the future. We are also aware that ISO will launch this year. We also know that the XRP ETFs will launch, and we've already made a significant acquisition from Ripple. Based on this, I think it's possible that we'll see 20 pause by the end of 2025. In that direction, even the charts are pointing. What about 3 digits? A lot of people are discussing them, but I don't think it will happen before early 2026. By then, we will have a clear understanding of where utility is leading us. By then, the price of XRP will also reflect a large portion of that volume from Hidden Road. By then, we'll also notice the ETF's volume. We will comprehend the impact of ISO on these utility-driven coins. By that time, we will also have rules in place. There will be many significant events, and this was fantastic since SBI disclosed how Ripple obtained Hidden Road. They claim to have used treasury stock and cash XRP, so some of the XRP supply that Ripple had was used to purchase Hidden Road. SBI was the one who actually informed the public of this, but I always said, Ripple might hold on to that escrow, but they're using it strategically to push Ripple ahead, and at the same time they're pushing XRP ahead. Many people are still discussing that acquisition. With Ripple's most recent acquisition, XRP may be able to process $1.5 trillion, which might result in a significant price spike. I stated that if XRP handles 50% of the $3 trillion, we would receive $22.50 per XRP. Many people claimed it's a much too low estimate, but I believe that's being conservative. The price of XRP will increase if we handle more than that, but some individuals believe that this would cause the price to reach thousands of dollars. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but it might over time. Not from this purchase. As it now costs $3 trillion, perhaps in the near future that 3 trillion tree will double to 6 trillion. But we must wait and see where this goes. Oliver Otis shared this with me on X, And you can see that Grok even says it would put XRP around 25.74 per XRP, but that's assuming this plays out the way we think it's going to. And I got that prediction from this chart right here, which I shared with you yesterday. It shows you that if 5% is captured by XRP all the way up to 20%, and at the possible price of XRP would be $8.90. So at 50% it would be somewhere around $22.50. This is undoubtedly increasing XRP's value. We simply don't yet know how much, and the price might even rise significantly. Perhaps this is what causes the XRP to reach 3 digits. Since it's still only conjecture, we truly don't know yet. Here are some reasons why XRP might reach $29 if Bitcoin claims $170,000. After XRP bullish MA cross for Bitcoin. First off, I don't think Bitcoin will reach $170,000. If it does, you're lucky. Moreover, XRP doesn't really need to follow Bitcoin. It will eventually separate from Bitcoin. That will occur. Utility and regulations will make that happen because rules won't help Bitcoin at all. But utility will, and that's when I believe the decoupling will begin. However, since we are still tracking Bitcoin, I believe that XRP will reach between $20 and $30, and that's being conservative. Right now, everyone else is predicting Moonboy. Everyone is hoping for a $3,600 XRP. Binance even demanded $600 in XRP. A $200 XRP was mentioned by Forbes Business. Everyone wants to see it happen, and if XRP does reach 3 digits, I believe that would be the greatest thing ever. However, I believe there are still a lot of things that need to happen. Listen to Boheen's thoughts here to see if Congress can provide cryptocurrency bills to President Trump by August. In my office, I believe it would be a dereliction of duty if we don't have both of those items on his desk before the August recess. Is it feasible that Congress can move and get this done? It's more than doable. And the reason I'm so grateful for the leadership we have in both chambers on the Hill right now is that I believe a lot of people in the industry and beyond missed it when they joined forces with David to announce the bicameral working group on digital assets between the chambers at the start of this Congress. I believe that was a huge step toward this industry truly developing and becoming recognized as the legitimate player that it is, and I believe they're going to expedite it in some way before August. They will probably expedite a crypto measure to the president's desk in anticipation of a significant incident. In the United States, nothing occurs quickly unless there is a crisis of some kind approaching first. They always have to identify a crisis and then provide the answer. The deep freeze on the XRP ledger is then discussed, and Daniel Keller explains it. What exactly is deep freeze then? Deepfreeze is a sophisticated asset freezing feature included into the XRP ledger specifically, designed for fungible tokens, such stablecoins and tokenized real-world assets. In contrast to XRP, which is unaffected because of its native status, issued tokens are subject to issuer control. Now, who has leverage? Unprecedented oversight of the normal freeze by Deepfreeze. An account can only receive tokens due to a pre-existing provision that prohibits outgoing transactions. Deepfreeze, on the other hand, intensifies this control by forbidding sending and receiving, so cutting off the account from any token-related operations other than direct exchanges with the issuer. The RLUSD and other stablecoin assets and tokens that appear on the XRP ledger are more relevant to this. They are unable to freeze XRP. This has nothing to do with XRP, but I heard about it earlier today. Oh, they're going to freeze our XRP with this. And since they continue to discuss sanctions and anti-money laundering, I believe this had to be implemented. Get to know your customers. If RLUSD and other tokenized assets are to operate on the XRP ledger, this is a prerequisite. Consider the power of the government. Consider the penalties that are implemented. Additionally, if RLUSD is the digital currency, they will also want to be able to freeze transactions for specific periods of time. I'm sure the U.S. government currently does this with wire transfers, but this is unrelated to XRP. I emphasize that it's similar to the clawback feature. Everyone claimed that your XRP will be reclaimed. They will now freeze your XRP. People assume that they will take your XRP away from you every time there is a new development on the XRP ledger, but that is not the goal. Additionally, many banks probably request that Ripple set up these procedures before they will even consider collaborating with Ripple. They even continue by discussing CBDCs. When considered from an institutional perspective, for financial institutions like central banks issuing CBDCs or stable currency providers like Ripple's RLUSD and other stable currencies, the need of Deepfreeze becomes clear. This feature provides a strong tool to enforce regulatory compliance, so if someone isn't utilizing these stable coins in a way that complies with regulations, they can simply freeze them. However, this has nothing to do with XRP being frozen. As I mentioned earlier, we are currently trading sideways at just under $2. Will there be a much larger dip? Some people are calling for one, while others are calling for a breakout. No one can say for sure. It's like a 50-50 shot. You have to be ready for either scenario. However, I don't believe that the market is stable enough at this time for anyone to declare whether or not we are back, as I have seen a lot of people assert in recent days. Every time the price of XRP jumps by about 10 cents, that's it. We're back. Prepare yourself for a $100 XRP. However, nothing is cancelled if the market declines and XRP drops by 10 cents. We're just waiting for the market to level off. But in the meantime, be patient, keep upbeat, and let's all become wealthy. Having stated that, I'm going to end this video and thank everyone for watching. I hope to see you in the future one.